People watched Taehyung'S vlog, but most of them didn't really see it. At first glance, it looked normal, peaceful, almost casual, just Taehyung sharing a moment, doing what he always does. Nothing dramatic, nothing loud, nothing that would make you stop the video and think twice. And that's exactly why it worked. Because buried inside that vlog, there's something most viewers completely missed. Not a statement, not a confession, just a choice. A detail so subtle that the company probably assumed no one would connect it to anything else. But fans did, and once they did, the entire meaning of that vlog shifted. What's interesting isn't just what Taehyung showed, it's when he showed it. The timing alone raised questions because this vlog didn't drop during a calm moment. It appeared when the fandom was already tense, when Jungkook was being watched closely, and when any unnecessary attention could have been avoided. And yet, Taehyung posted it anyway. That's when fans started asking the uncomfortable questions. Why this now? Why this tone? Why include that detail? I'm not going to tell you yet what that detail is, because on its own, it looks harmless. You could easily scroll past it and think nothing of it. But once you place it next to Jungkook's recent actions, and once you understand the context around this vlog, it becomes much harder to ignore, especially when you look at what happened after. Because the reaction wasn't excitement, it wasn't celebration, it was silence. And when things go quiet like that, it's usually because something landed exactly where it wasn't supposed to. So before anyone says this vlog means nothing, let's slow down. Let's look at the moment it appeared, the pressure surrounding Jungkook at the time, and why this vlog suddenly feels a lot less random than it did at first. Because if this was just a coincidence, the timing wouldn't make sense. Before we go any further, let me quickly say this. If you're here because you care about Taehyung and Jungkook, you're exactly where you're supposed to be. This channel isn't about rushing to conclusions or throwing the word confirmed around just to cause chaos. It's about slowing down and actually watching what most people miss. Because with taekook, the real story is never in the obvious moments. It's in the timing, in the details, in the choices that seem small until you place them in the right context. So if you enjoy this kind of breakdown, calm, detailed, and focused on patterns instead of noise, make sure you subscribe now, not because I'm about to drop a shocking reveal immediately, but because what we're building here only makes sense once you see the full picture. And trust me, this is one of those videos where skipping ahead ruins everything. The meaning behind this vlog doesn't come from one clip or one frame. It comes from when it appeared, why it appeared, and how it lines up with what was happening around Jungkook at that exact moment. All right, now that we're all on the same page, let's take a step back and talk about the situation surrounding this vlog, because Taehyung didn't post it in a vacuum. The timing is what makes this impossible to ignore. To understand why this vlog caused so much quiet reaction, you have to look at when it was released, not just what was in it. Because this wasn't a neutral moment, the timing alone already made it unusual. When Taehyung dropped this vlog, the fandom wasn't calm. Jungkook was under heavy attention. Every move he made was being analyzed, twisted, and turned into speculation. It was one of those moments where staying silent would have been the safest option for everyone involved. And usually that's exactly what happens. During periods like this, content tends to slow down, things get delayed, moments that could be misinterpreted are avoided. The company becomes careful, very careful. Especially when they know how fast narratives can spiral out of control. That's what made this vlog stand out. Because Taehyung didn't need to post it right then. There was no deadline forcing it, no promotion attached. No reason to drop something so personal during a sensitive moment, unless timing itself was part of the message. Fans noticed that immediately. People started saying things like, This could have waited, or why now of all times? And that's a fair question, because if the goal was to avoid attention, this was not the safest move. It was calm, yes, but it was also very intentional. And this is where the company enters the picture. Whenever something carries even the slightest risk of interpretation, companies usually try to control the narrative. They soften it, they redirect attention, they make sure nothing feels too personal or too aligned with ongoing rumors. But this vlog didn't feel softened, it felt untouched, which made fans wonder, was this overlooked? Or was it allowed because no one expected people to connect the dots? Either way, the timing created tension, not loud tension, subtle quiet tension, the kind that makes people rewatch instead of react, the kind that makes the fandom pause instead of celebrate. And that's important because it means the meaning of this vlog doesn't come from what Taehyung said. It comes from the moment he chose to say nothing at all. Next, we need to talk about how most people initially watched this vlog and why that first reading completely missed what was actually happening beneath the surface. When the vlog first dropped, most people watched it in the simplest way possible. No suspicion, no deeper analysis, just Taehyung being Taehyung. They saw calm visuals, a relaxed atmosphere, nothing controversial. Fans commented things like, "He looks happy. This is so healing. I love this side of him." And that was it. People didn't pause. They didn't rewind. They didn't question why it appeared when it did. They treated it like harmless content, something comforting to enjoy and then move on from. And honestly, that reaction made sense, because on the surface, there was nothing to argue about. No direct reference to anyone else, no obvious message, no moment that screamed for interpretation. It looked clean, safe, almost intentionally unproblematic. That's why the first wave of viewers missed it. They weren't looking for anything. Most fans assumed the company had cleared it, edited it, and timed it carefully, like always. They trusted that if something risky were there, it wouldn't have been posted, especially not during a sensitive period. So the conclusion was simple. It's just a vlog. But that assumption is exactly where things started to crack. Because when content is too clean, too calm, and too well-timed, it raises a different kind of question. Not, what is he saying, but what is he choosing to show? A few fans went back for a second watch. Not because they were suspicious, but because something about it felt oddly deliberate. And that's when the tone shifted. Not dramatically, quietly. They started noticing that certain choices weren't accidental, that some moments lingered a little too long, that the overall mood didn't quite match what was happening around Jungkook at the time. And that's when the simple reading stopped working, because suddenly this wasn't just a peaceful vlog anymore. It was a vlog released at a very specific moment, carrying a very specific energy, one that felt out of sync with the chaos surrounding Jungkook. And once fans noticed that mismatch, they couldn't unsee it. Next, we need to talk about the one thing in this vlog that didn't fit the harmless content narrative, the detail that quietly shifted how people interpreted everything. After the second watch, a few fans started noticing something that didn't quite fit the harmless vlog narrative. Nothing obvious, nothing you could clip and point at immediately, just a feeling that some choices felt deliberate. The first thing that stood out was consistency. Certain elements weren't random. They repeated. The tone stayed the same from beginning to end, almost like Taehyung was carefully maintaining a specific mood. Calm, intimate, grounded, not playful, not chaotic, not distracted. And that's strange, because it didn't match what was happening outside the vlog. While the fandom was tense, confused, and watching Jungkook closely, the vlogs felt almost like a counterbalance, as if it was intentionally creating a different emotional space. A quiet one, a safe one. Fans started asking themselves questions they hadn't asked before. Why keep this tone throughout? Why choose this moment to share something so personal? Why does this feel like a response without responding? Then came the realization that really shifted things. This vlog wasn't trying to draw attention. It wasn't trying to trend. It wasn't trying to explain anything. And in situations like this, that is usually a choice. Because staying quiet can be louder than saying the wrong thing. And that's when people began to wonder if the vlog wasn't meant for the public at all, not in the usual sense. It started to feel like a message directed somewhere else, something meant to be felt rather than understood, something calm enough to pass through company filters, but specific enough that the right people would recognize it. And that's where the discomfort began, because if this vlog carried intention, then someone had to be aware of that intention. Someone had to allow it to be released exactly like this. Or someone underestimated how closely fans would pay attention. Either way, this wasn't accidental. And next, we need to talk about what happened after the vlog was released, because the company's behavior only made the questions louder. What happened after the vlog is what really made people uneasy, because instead of amplification, there was restraint. Instead of engagement, there was distance. Instead of riding the emotional response, everything suddenly felt contained. Fans noticed that the vlog wasn't pushed the way other content usually is. No extra highlights, no follow-up, no attempt to build momentum around it. Almost like it was meant to exist quietly and then disappear into the timeline. And that's not normal. When content performs well emotionally, companies usually lean into it. They repost, they reference it, they use it to shape the narrative. But this time, it felt like the opposite. Like someone was making sure the moment didn't grow legs. That's when people started asking harder questions. Was the company uncomfortable with how this vlog was being interpreted? Did they underestimate how closely fans would analyze it? Or did they assume the detail would fly under the radar completely? Because here's the thing, nothing about this vlog was technically wrong. There was nothing they could point to and say, this can't be shown. And that's what made it so effective. It stayed within the lines while still saying something meaningful. Fans began comparing it to past moments. Other times when Taehyung shared something quietly personal during tense periods. And the pattern was familiar. When things get sensitive, the company doesn't always stop content. Sometimes they just stop reacting to it. That silence spoke volumes. It suggested that whatever meaning fans were pulling from the vlog wasn't something the company could openly address without drawing more attention to it. So instead, they did the safest thing possible, nothing. And ironically, that choice only made the interpretation stronger. Because when a company goes quiet instead of correcting a narrative, it leaves space. Space for fans to connect dots. Space for meaning to grow. Space for moments like this to become bigger than intended. And this is where everything circles back to Jungkook. Because once fans placed the vlog next to what Jungkook had been doing and not doing, around the same time, the company's silence stopped feeling random. It started feeling strategic. Next, we need to talk about that connection, the one that turned this from interesting timing into something fans couldn't ignore anymore. So when you put everything together, the timing of the vlog, the emotional tone, the moment Jungkook was living through, and the way the company chose silence instead of control, it becomes clear why fans reacted the way they did. This wasn't about a single frame. It wasn't about one obvious clue. And it definitely wasn't accidental. Taehyung didn't need to say Jungkook's name. He didn't need to explain anything. He just needed to choose when to show up and how. And that's why this vlog feels different, because when things get sensitive, when pressure builds around Jungkook, Taehyung has always responded the same way. Not loudly, not defensively, but with presence, with calm, with something that creates emotional stability instead of more noise. The company couldn't stop this moment because there was nothing to stop. No rule was broken, no line was crossed, and yet the message landed exactly where it was meant to. That's why fans didn't celebrate. They paused, they rewatched, they connected the dots. You don't have to call this a confirmation, you don't have to agree with every interpretation, but pretending this vlog meant nothing doesn't hold up anymore. Now I want to hear from you. Did this vlog feel different to you from the beginning? At what moment did it click? Or do you think people underestimate how intentional Taehyung really is? Leave your thoughts in the comments. That's where the real conversation happens. And if you want more videos like this, slow, detailed, and focused on what most people miss, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. There's always more happening beneath the surface, and we're not done paying attention. Thanks for watching.